He'll be strong. He'll be fast. He'll be virtually indestructible, and he'll need those advantages to survive. Goodbye, my son. Go back and change the world, so that we might not become this cold, complacent lot. Go back and bring a little light into our lives. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Comics Corner. I am Mike, here with Johnny.
I fucking hate Superman.
Thanks, Eric, for coming on out.
I've never started the stream that way before.
Exactly. Well,
but I've never felt the urge to.
We've got our one.
And that, here at the Comics Corner, we run with our passion, okay? I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to sell you lies. And I would be doing just that if I said anything other than what I just said to start this stream.
Well, we're getting into our review portion of the stream here.
Were you expecting that type of response, Michael?
Well, ever since today, when when I saw when I mentioned the book, yeah, I don't know, I didn't expect it to be that visceral of a dislike. I mean, so again, we were talking about Superman Red Sun. Came out in 2003. It was a 3-part miniseries, basically as part of their Elseworlds line, which is the kind of what if equivalent for DC.
Ironically, What If Omnibus coming out August 2021 got announced today. Marvel, killing it. Killing it.
DC
what are we talking about?
DC, you're on notice. Max Power, that's what it was, yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. I just max powered live on stream.
It was good. But yeah, so we got into this one not too long after Marvel 1602, which was again like basically another what if one. So I think I think I suggested this one as kind of like a hey, it's similar, and also it's like one of the few Superman books that like I know at least a lot of people will talk about in terms of liking. Whether you like it or not.
I got a lot of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
We'll definitely get into it.
I've got a lot of stuff.
But yeah, it was written by Mark Miller of like Hit Girl, Kick-Ass and Hit Girl fame, and a bunch of other stories.
Old Man Logan. That's why I can't believe how shitty this is. Have you read Old Man? See, we need a palate cleansing now. Now we need to read Old Man Logan.
Exactly, yeah. Slide Superman off the table and then we'll get into it.
We should read Old Man Logan.
But yeah, so the last time I read it, it was like I feel like every other book that I mentioned here, I was like in high school, like 16 or so, and I remembered liking it back then, because again, like I never really read too much, like you said at the beginning of the stream. I won't repeat it, but F Superman. Like I was never really in the camp of enjoying Superman stuff because I mean, like he has the problem of, he's too overpowered. He's kind of devoid of personality, and he's not that interesting. But I think one of the reasons why I like this is because like the stuff around him, like I kind of dug the whole alternate universe stuff of like, hey, Batman looked pretty sweet with that Ushanka on his head.
Oh my God! I don't think you and I have ever been on such opposite ends of the pool, man.
You're not a fan of vodka drinking Batman?
Just go on with your monologue.
So much so that I remember I have an action figure of Superman Red Sun, where he's got like the kind of gray suit and the symbol. But I was looking into it. It's gone up in price, so I've made money. It was a long-term investment. I spent probably like $20 on it. Now it's like 80, even out of box, not even new in box, not NIB, and it's still pulling in money on eBay. So that's something that's going to be going up on my own personal eBay when I get home.
I wouldn't even. I would take the $80 and burn it.
Yeah.
I don't want money coming from that.
So I guess I'll say my piece of, for Superman stuff, it's not that bad, but
the fact that you have to start it off that way should say everything. Should tell you everything.
Yeah,
you need to know.
so I mean, I dug some of this stuff, like the some of the character work. The ending I know is definitely hit or miss for some people. And then so I'll also preface this with I also saw the movie, and if you didn't like the book, you're not gonna like the movie because it took all of any kind of character motivations that some of the characters had in the book, and it completely was ripped out from that. And
I can't imagine anything
events.
being worse than this book. You know, that's not true. I've read Tom King's Mr.
I was
Miracle.
gonna say, here.
It's not the worst thing I've ever read.
I'll yield my time.
But wow.
To Johnny here to tell me why you hated it so much, because I'm legitimately curious. I'd probably put it at like maybe a 3 or 4 out of 5. Like, it's not bad, but like.
Since when the hell have we been doing a 5 scale?
Was it? Okay, that's right. You're right.
Out of 10.
Hey, fine. You double that up. I'll say 7 or 8 then.
7 or 8? Holy crap!
Yeah, it's a 7. But
the
again,
fact that it
maybe
says
clouded by the fact that I saw that movie and that left a bad taste in my mouth. But go ahead.
One of the best stories in the history of the Man of Steel. That's how weak his catalog is. This is considered one of the best.
Yeah.
It's the first Superman story I've ever actually read, and it is everything I ever thought a Superman story would be.
But that's kind of the point, to be fair. Like, it's meant to be here is the generic retelling of Superman with the caveat of, what if he fell in USSR Ukraine instead of
why do I care?
Kansas, right?
Kansas. Though not here.
Smallville.
Kansas. You know what that's from?
The movie? No, that's not the old one, right? Never mind. I think it was an old Superman movie.
Anyways, so it didn't do anything for me. I thought Mark Millar, everything I've read from him before was way better than this, so I was really disappointed. I always wondered where Chris Nolan got that crappy ending for Dark Knight Rises. I guess now we kind of know. This come out first?
I was gonna say 2003, yes.
I don't know, man. Lex Luthor, is that how he is in all of DC lore?
Again,
like, I don't read.
So the thing is,
DC
after
outside of
this,
Batman.
I started dipping more into trying to get into more of like the catalog. 'Cause like it says even on the title, it's like one of the best. And I was like looking at some of the lists, like and trying to start going down those.
What's considered the best?
Whatever Happens to Man of Tomorrow, All-Star Superman.
That's the Superman's pretty crappy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's for many reasons, but yeah, like so I was going into it and trying to like look at the old like Alan Moore stuff. Our favorite, wrote some current like better Superman storylines. But like that's the thing is, it seems like it was a lot of just like weird one-offs and stuff like that kind of I think flipped the script on Superman a little bit because like have you ever read Action Comics #1?
Like the real Action Comics #1?
Yeah,
no.
Like I remember way back when I read it because like out of curiosity, like one of the main things is like that cover, that iconic cover of like him picking up that car and like smashing into there and like people like running away in terror. So I was like, what does this have to do with Superman? Like he's looking like a bad guy in this scene, and it turns out that was because in that storyline he's as Clark Kent at a dance with Lois Lane. And he's like milquetoast Clark Kent, like always timid. These goons want to try and take a dance with Lois Lane, and like Clark Kent doesn't like that. She doesn't like that. They yell at him, or she yells at them. They kidnap her into their car and start driving off. And then so like Clark Kent has to change into Superman, and like he doesn't fly. Like he has to like run and like jump. Like he leaps buildings. He doesn't actually fly. He has to like chase after them, and then he like catches up with the car. He takes the car. He like he shakes everybody out of it, and then he like smashes the car into the side of a mountain, like to teach them a lesson. I'm like, man, what is with the Superman like who is like, uh, causing damage and not being the kind of like goody two shoes that we know him for. So I'm like they've definitely played with this character since then, and like I think it's even like Action Comics #2 or like a slightly later one where he straight up kills dudes. Like he lets these guys get like electrocuted to death.
Batman kills people in the first
Oh yeah, of course,
4 or 5 Detective
so again,
Comics.
It's just kind of interesting.
I've read that. I've read Detective Comics. I know it's different, but I've read Detective 27. The first few Batmans are actually palatable, and then it's like 40 years of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Until like the 70s.
Yeah, and like to be fair, like I feel like that was kind of the case with Superman to some degree too. Is like.
No, because Batman eventually came around.
That's fair.
We're still waiting.
The thing is like. Superman,
one of the best, Michael.
Superman kind of has to be, to some degree, lame.
But why am I going to waste my time reading stories like that?
But I mean, like that's why like ones like this at least tried to.
What did it try to do? What did it do? What did it make you feel? Explain it to me. I'm not even being an asshole yet.
No, definitely. And like that's the thing is, it kind of gave Superman, tried to give him some personality of him dealing with a world that kind of doesn't like him in a lot of ways, because we get the tension between USA and the USSR, because it takes place during like Cold War era. Politics, Johnny. Oh.
Frank Miller did it better. Just
gonna say. Yeah. I mean, Frank Miller does a lot of stuff better. The better Miller.
Yeah.
Frank better than his brother Mark.
Well, their names are spelled different.
Yeah,
you know that, right? Okay, just making sure
I'm using Miller. Yeah. But
the art was okay, I guess.
And again, like I'm kind of the person who likes some of the Elseworld and alternate universe stuff, just to see kind of like the way in which they twist some of the stories. Like so in this. So I guess we're gonna start getting into it now. So spoilers, but
I feel like we should.
We could start from the start.
I feel like there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good though.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like there could be like a lot, because there kind of is a lot going on there. But yeah, like Lex Luthor is kind of
he's so annoying
asshole. And that's the thing too, is like in the book, Lois and Lex have like this kind of like loveless marriage that like is almost like doing it for not fame, but like the power of it, and like almost like a political marriage, right? Like they don't really love each other, but she sticks with him, and like they like basically have to like make dates and times for them to actually like spend time together. Whereas in the movie they have like this very lovey-dovey like perfect relationship, and I'm like that kind of changes everything, because like spoilers, in this like Lois starts falling for Superman to some degree, because like he actually kind of pays attention. But yes, we've got Super Genius.
I have and always shall be your friend.
Hell yeah, Spock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Good pick. I mean, wait, was it because I threw this?
No,
or
I've
knew?
seen. Yeah.
Right.
I've searched for Spock. I've wrathed after Khan.
You started the day, up here, and then you said Superman wasn't that bad, and you dropped down here, and then you picked my Spock reference, so you got up a little bit.
Superman Red Sun, not that bad. But
where's Alan when I need him? I didn't know his opinion on Superman. Hawkman, it's Comic Boy.
But that's the thing, is he would know like probably like the proper like Superman stories
to read.
Yeah. But yeah,
a lot of people say the John Byrne Man of Steel run is supposed to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I was gonna say
from
Man of Steel, I know
1987.
would show up on those lists and stuff too. But yeah, like it's the thing of like it feels like it's certain storylines or variants on the character. I mean, like the old Superman stuff, like the Silver Age stuff, definitely has like that level of camp that like I kind of enjoy with like horror comics, but not so much with like superhero comics to some degree. Like I don't know, maybe it's just a weird divide in my mind where like I dig like the old horror camp, like oh that's stupid and that's silly stuff, but like Silver Age comics is a little hokier for me.
Silver Age books can be hard to read.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. It's like like it's him jumping.
It's pretty. Wait, hold on. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that X-Men's pretty shitty before Giant Size. It's pretty common knowledge that Daredevil's shitty before Frank Miller. It's pretty common knowledge that Batman and Superman were pretty hard to read throughout the 40s, 50s, and maybe 60s. Like, I don't think that's like...
Yeah, I mean, they stood the test of time because there was, like, some kernel or nugget there that was, like, interesting to people, and, like, like, the generic Superman, like, I mean, how many times has there been in, like, a Superman knockoff character, right? Just generic, happy, goody two shoes, overpowered.
Cyclops.
Well, I meant more like
No.
the Sentry, like everybody's knockoff Superman character. So
Superman Red Sun.
it's red.
So starts out. I mean, it basically just gets right into it. Where like,
Yeah.
I do like that it doesn't like dick around really like in the beginning. Like, hey, Superman didn't land in Kansas. He landed in Russia. And actually the Ukraine, but he's like working for Russia,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just become
Under
common
the
knowledge
USSR.
to the American people, with Ike Eisenhower as president. It's
Mm-hmm.
the 1960s, or 50s. 50s.
I think it sets off late 50s. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. That basically Russia has this like Superman. So the
Yeah, he's a propaganda piece because he's overpowered and will like lead them with military might. And naturally, the USA won't want to deal with that, so they start looking to their head genius, Lex Luthor, who is going to help them kind of find out more.
It's way too much, man. It's just way too much. It is. It's. I was reading 13. Dude, these are like literally like
Okay,
lines
no,
from.
I wholeheartedly agree that
Like what? It's too over the top.
the hamming up. Yeah, it's like let me hold like 2 books and I'm reading there while playing like 5 chess games.
I learned this language this morning because I was bored. Like
Yeah.
it's stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, this is terrible. Like writing with him, like Lex Luthor's
That's
character.
always kind of Lex Luthor, right? Like he's.
I don't know because I've never read. I'm gonna pull my hair out with this frickin' show. God, Superman. This is why he's not in my life. I gotta go balance my chakras after this. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
My God.
Read some Frank Miller, but yeah, like that's the thing is like like the Lex Luthor stuff. I totally agree. He's an asshole, but he's supposed to be, and like this smarmy, created a new chess piece, and it's gonna do this. Like he's like too good for his own good, but he's our only hope in stopping Superman because they have to figure out a way that we could kind of turn people against Superman to some degree. Like they're trying to stop Superman and change political opinion on him. There's that look, that steely gaze.
Yeah, and basically, Lex Luthor, like, to expose Superman, I guess, he like plans an attack. Like he's gonna have a Russian satellite fall into America. He like plans it that way.
Yeah.
And Superman still saves the American people because like Lex Luthor realizes early on that like Superman, even though he's like working for the Russians,
Yeah,
wants
he's
to
still
save
a good
everybody.
person, yeah.
So like, see, that's something I thought it was gonna be like he was like, I thought it was gonna be a little over the top. I thought it was gonna be like evil and tyrannic. Like, I mean,
Well, wait till the end.
oh,
Till
but
book
it's
3.
not that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just and he's like just the good guy still. Like, I think what Mark Millar tries to get through is that Superman is inevitably going to be who he is.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if he lands in Kansas or Russia.
Yeah.
But that's not the story I wanted to read. That's not the story I was hoping for.
Yeah, like some God Emperor Superman. But I mean, there's hints of that as we get further. But
Yeah, hints. So Superman saves, a kid from the falling Daily Planet, and him and Lois Luthor,
Yeah,
lock
Lois Luthor,
eyes,
yeah.
and like, what's this weird thing he says? Like
it should be right there. Oh,
centuries later, after 1,000 interpretations of this meeting, a famous poet would write an alternate history of the world where Lois Luthor and I became lovers.
Yeah, it
Like,
seems like-
why
it's
is
like- it's
this
like a-
commentary in here?
I think to be like, hey, even he's acknowledging like, whoa, what if they were together, which is our universe. Like I felt like that was a very ham-fisted, on the nose version of that because they like share a quick moment here, and he's like, oh, she's beautiful, I like her, but I'm a man of the state. I don't have time for a lady like
But
that.
why is he like? I don't.
I think it is just what is it, like lampshading, like just being very overt with the hey, get it? Because in our actual timeline, they do like each other.
So then he meets Princess Diana at a Russian ball.
Yeah, they're having like like a meeting of the minds here because Stalin, who
With Stalin.
exactly show
Keep
your father your
talking.
marks.
Nice. Hey,
I
we're
got
on
one
point
point
tonight.
back.
You know what it is? It's the damn fortune cookies. Mike and I had Panda Express tonight. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
And the fortune held true.
It did. Mine of.
Yeah, what was yours?
It was. Did I throw them out? It was.
You threw it out. Well, it's not going to come true now.
It wasn't gonna anyway.
This guy's even know how to eat.
So he's working under Stalin.
Yeah.
And Superman is kind of rising the ranks quickly within like the high rankings of Stalin's upper class, and we have the head of like the secret police here, this
Piotr.
Piotr,
who's his like estranged son.
He's like a bastard son of Stalin,
who he won't admit is his son, and so he like hates that. But then like,
well, he hates it because also like in this scene here, he's kind of breaking down with Superman of like, hey, I'm just a man. Like I've been working literally my entire life. Like I think he was like kidnapped more or less like at his young age and like taken up into this life, and he's been working his way up to be like basically like the number 2 man, and now along comes a comet out of the sky, and Superman quickly replaces him, and no matter how hard he works, he'll never be good enough to beat Superman and kind of take his father's place.
So I hate this fucking book.
I feel like that's a reasonable storyline.
No,
or story arc rather.
No, because what's about to happen. I mean, that part's fine, I guess. What happens next is
the rise of Batman.
Shut up. I can't even.
I thought it was clever. I don't know.
Why is this clever?
Okay, so
no, I'm gonna disprove why. I'm gonna tell you why this is unclever. Okay.
I thought it was very Russian. So like.
This is very Russian. Jesus Christ, Michael.
As part of him breaking down, talking about, he kind of alludes this old story when he was just part of the secret police, and he breaks up these dissidents, these like political adversaries, basically Martha and Thomas Wayne, who are spreading propaganda, communist propaganda, and so he breaks in, kills them, and he just kind of like leaves their son to live there. Even though he threatens him with a gun too, but that is the Red Sun rise of Batman, because he's now going to be anti-communist, anti-state, because his parents were killed.
We got a damn future in Flashpoint where Thomas Wayne was the most badass Batman not named Bruce Wayne, and you are digging Russian Batman.
What if Batman hated the state?
Bro, why? Bruce, this is implying that Batman is connected to Superman, that if there's Joker, if there's a Batman, there's a Joker, if there's a Joker, there's a Batman. Superman is not in part of the equation.
Well, he wasn't, though.
But why? No, but why is he Russian then? There's like... That part makes no sense. Batman, Bruce Wayne would still be in America. What? That's not Bruce Wayne then.
It's not, but it's.
Well, then why is he Batman?
Yeah, to be fair, no, I totally agree. The Bat thing was wild, and in the movie, it's even weirder because like he becomes Batman because like there was some like inside a mountain they were having like this secret like
Please tell me his parents got like clubbed with a baseball bat.
His parents don't even matter in there. Like he's like this child that lives in this weird like mountain prison camp that has like lead-lined walls so that Superman can't see it. Like they're having like secret like slave labor basically happening, and Bruce Wayne becomes Batman because he hates Superman for the fact that he didn't save them earlier. Like it's even more ham-fisted. There's no like death of his parents. It's just like him like sneering up at Superman. It's like, you didn't save us. And then like bats fly out behind him, and it is the worst. It's so bad. Like
this isn't any better, Mike.
No, it is.
No, it's not.
It's better than the movie. I'll give it that.
Oh, it can't be.
This one they at least had some sort of conceit for.
So while this whole, God, this is, dude, I just can't. This is even worse.
Johnny, like Stalin, is on his deathbed.
100%. This is even worse than like the Joker killing Batman's parents.
Yeah, no, that's lame. But I mean, again, like it didn't really have to do with Superman in this one. It's just like him rising up against the state because the state killed his parents.
But why is he Batman?
Yeah, the Bat part is still.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, they do not allude to where the bats come from at all.
And while this is happening, Stalin got poisoned.
Yep.
And Superman was too distracted listening to some BS story So Stalin's dead. So now, in the meantime, Lex Luthor's been creating his own Superman, which I believe he did using the fingerprints from when Superman saved that kid. So that was also part of that plan.
Yeah, thank God. He's thinking just like chess, like 10 moves ahead, 40 years ahead.
So he develops Superman 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like in the movie they at least called him Superman, I think it was, which I thought was a good joke. But in this one, it's like Superman 2. It's like the world's
Superman
the
2,
world's
the
smartest
Richard
man
Donner cut.
is not at all a marketing person like Superman the sequel.
Shut the hell up. And then you get this like Bizarro thing.
Yeah, they made Bizarro basically, but like but they hate him because he's a freak and he looks weird, even though he could hear them.
But then he like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, so he's imperfect. They try to use him to counter Superman, and they get into a fight, like out in the ocean. But I liked it because when they punched him, like his X-ray eyes like were actually like shooting out X-rays the entire time, and like it gave nosebleeds and was like killing the dudes in the submarine. I thought that was kind of interesting.
You're allowed to think things. It's okay.
It was funny.
And this like sets off a bunch of bombs, or a bomb, and it like kills a bunch of people.
Not even bombs. It's just like when Superman punches him, or when Superman gets punched by Superman 2, the sequel, he gets hit so hard that like he goes like flying into like England, and like he gets knocked through like like Big Ben there, and like he basically creates like catastrophic damage inside.
No.
Yeah, because he's like he got launched with so much force from the punch from Superman 2 that like he gets so it's creating a lot of collateral damage.
The submarine was a Greyback class SSG 574.
There was one bomb that was
carrying four Regulus 1 missiles.
Yeah.
3 of them stayed where they should have. So one of them.
One got launched off, but there was like as you see that him getting knocked around.
Yeah. But so, bunch of people died, but then like
collateral damage. But then there was the bomb that was still en route.
Yeah, or that's what. Okay,
yeah.
So then Superman 2 decides to save everybody.
Yeah.
By sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Why?
Even Superman doesn't know. He doesn't know if there's a change of consciousness. If they talk about like maybe the fact that he still has Superman's DNA in him, like he has that innate need to be the Superman and help people.
So even Mark Millar didn't know what he was doing, and tells that through his own character.
We'll never know.
This is a very good book. They all can't be winners, right? If they were all winners, then we wouldn't know which ones were winners.
They're just all good. But he sacrificed himself, and there goes their Superman 2, so they need a new plan. How did you feel about Lois Lane in this book?
Well, I don't get it. Like, she saw Superman once and she's in love with him, so they have this eternal connection. Again, like, why are we...
Yeah, that part, again, hokey.
T. Kirk. James Tiberius Kirk.
At least in this, there is the loose reasoning of, like, she's in a loveless marriage, so, like, she's kind of looking elsewhere anyway to some degree, but...
Oh, God, and then when he calls her and he's like, this call was planned to last for 38 seconds. I'm just like, this writing is terrible.
Yeah, happy anniversary, honey.
And he kills all of the people so that he can become the leader.
Yeah.
And so Stalin died, so Superman, like, the people want him to be president, but at first he doesn't want it. But then he realizes that he actually... Okay.
Like he could affect the world and try and change things.
Right, so basically he sees their version of Lana Lang in Russia, because there's a Russian equivalent of
Yeah, the weird, like, the girl that he grew up with on a farm, like, he noticed her and he started falling for her, and he's like, oh, I've got to help her and, like, help the people. I'm a man of the people. Maybe I should become president because, like, even though I don't want to and have no stake in, like, the politics side, he's like, at least if I can try and help the people, that's reason enough to do work.
Because he can. Because he's in line with her at to get food.
Yeah, like it's a bread line.
Yeah, and basically they're like, He's like, get this woman some food, and everyone's like, we've been waiting for
Yeah,
food.
exactly.
Like, what can you do? And he's like, everything, and then he
Sure,
flies
I can
off.
do.
Yeah. So then, like, it opens, it just jumps into this, because
Issue 2, yeah.
I guess Luther created Brainiac, or found Brainiac.
Yeah, the Brainiac.
The Brainiac's there.
Yeah, the Brainiac thing was like a real just like gloss over.
Did you know, literally reading this, I like went back and was like, did I miss something?
Yeah, did they?
I literally did this, and nope, they just
Exactly. Yeah.
Brainiac's here.
By the way, Brainiac.
So if you don't know anything about Brainiac, this makes no sense.
He's a brainy alien computer, Johnny. That's all you need to know. And now Superman has him.
And this shit made no sense. So Brainiac shrunk a civilization into a bottle.
So that was always Brainiac's thing, was like he was kind of trying to study a bunch of civilizations, and in doing so, like, he would shrink them down. Like, that's Supergirl, Kara Jor-El, I forget her last name, but she was from like the last surviving Kryptonian city that was shrunk down, and so that's basically this is in this universe. Brainiac had shrunk down Stalingrad, so like he shrunk down a Russian city, and is keeping it in a bottle, but they don't know how to undo it. Brainiac, won't tell them, and they don't have the technology for it, so it's just kind of like, all right, well, we have Stalingrad in a bottle, and I don't know how to help you guys, but I'm going to try to.
Mm-hmm. And then...
It'll come back later, don't worry.
Martha.
Why'd you say that name?
It might as well have been.
Why'd you say that bottle? But yeah, his old farm crush is now working as like the head, I guess, tourist. She's doing leading like the Superman Museum tour.
Yeah, and there's this guy who's lagging for a second, so right away you're like, oh, that's Batman. Which I knew.
Russian Batman. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, Johnny. Smash the state, blow up their museums. So he plants a bomb in the Superman Museum and blows it up to create chaos, because apparently, if Superman and the state are all about order and Batman is against the state, he has to create chaos. So they kind of make him like a smattering of Batman and the Joker at the same time, because like he's an agent of chaos, Johnny. And now hold on though, are we looking at that image though? You're telling me that costume is doing nothing for you.
You know what that is? That's an action figure for you to buy. I need Batman with Russian hat action.
That may be the reason why I have the Superman and not the Batman, because I think they were sold out of the Batman one that I wanted.
Oh my god. Okay, this is turning into one painful thing. So I like that Batman does a Batman thing here though, where he does the little dummy. I'm like,
the dummy thing was so good.
Hey, where'd you get that? You fucking utility belts? Come on.
Exactly, yeah. The fact that it comes out of nowhere, like this full-size dummy that the police shoot and think that they got him, and it's like, oops, you got my dummy.
So,
and then he's meeting with the head of the police state. Or wait, nope.
No, it's Pyotr.
Pyotr, yeah. That's sorry, I was jumping ahead there. When Batman meets with him.
So yeah, Pyotr. What happened there? Because something happened, and he's like, "You didn't save us, or you weren't there."
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, the bombs. That's what it was talking about. He's like, "We had Batman where we wanted him," and Superman's like, "Oh, I guess I should pay more attention. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Too bored with human interaction.
More or less. Oops, sorry, I gotta save a train that's derailed.
Sure is perfect, isn't he?
Check out those overalls, man. And then, yeah, we cut back to Wonder Woman. So we kind of glossed over it at the beginning there, but Wonder Woman was kind of set as an envoy to try and, bridge relations with the USSR and, what is their island called? Because with the T.
Wait, say that again?
The island that she's from, the actual, like, name of the island that they mentioned there. The Isle of Women, more or less, but, trying to...
No, isn't it just
Amazonia?
Cassia, yeah, but I remember thinking of her mother's name. But Superman kind of takes a slight liking to her because she's also like one of the few people like him, and they kind of have an understanding together.
Yeah, and what's this thing here? Like, oh, the people love you, Superman, so more than you would ever believe. So she's in love with him too.
Yes, but it's an unrequited love, and he doesn't notice it. In the movie, they completely gloss over this whole like interaction and drama by making her staunchly lesbian. Like he opens up, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like thing of like he opens up like, oh, kind of like he's like, oh, like, hey, Superman, I grew up on an island of all ladies, like where do you think like my loyalties lie? It's like, oh, okay, well, never mind then. But and that's fine. But the thing is, that was one of the points I remember because like their unrequited love actually has like consequences here later on. Like it becomes a story point, whether you like it or not. It becomes like character motivation, and so the fact that they removed that from the movie, I thought was kind of a bummer because then like when it comes to its climax, like it didn't matter or it doesn't have the same effect in the movie. But we'll get there.
So then it cuts to the Daily Planet, where Lois Luthor still works, and Perry White's retiring, and Lois Luthor is now Perry White. Also, Jimmy Olsen in this universe is like Lex Luthor's right-hand man, and his kind of security.
He was sent like to kind of
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. I hate the Superman universe.
The super family, the super friends. Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, and we're gonna meet up with JFK later, and he's smoking these Russian cigarettes. Cause why not? Like, what was the point in that?
They get to hang out with Marilyn Manson too. Or sorry, Marilyn Monroe. Hell yeah! If I would get to hang out with Marilyn Manson,
you would like that.
Yeah. But yes, the '60s. Remember the '60s? We're gonna be hanging out with JFK and Norma Jean.
Wait, Norma Jean
is Marilyn Monroe's birth name.
I did not know.
So the idea being that like, hey, JFK was seeing Marilyn Monroe on the side. I guess in this universe, that's his main squeeze, or more overt with their adultery.
I did not know that was her real name.
Yeah, there we go. So you learned.
How did she die?
Wasn't it drug related?
That's what I figured.
Yeah. It's like overdose.
Yeah. So then, what's Luthor doing here? Oh, he's pissed. When he was pissed because the Superman 2 beat him in chess. What the fuck, dude?
Yes, he was starting to see like shades of Superman and his intellect like through Superman 2, like besting him, like or almost besting him at chess, which is like his whole like shtick of like, oh, I'm like playing 10 games at once and to checkmate to all you grandmasters and deep.
He's like electrocuting people playing chess. What is this book?
So
no, it's not. Nothing. Did you read Batman: The Long Halloween? That is good.
It's legitimately good. This is me saying it's so good in the campy way of like we see like on the screen like a dude like getting checkmated and he's like, oh, getting like.
They can't all be winners.
They can't.
They can't all be winners.
Oh.
So Superman and Lois Lane Wonder Woman are saving people. Mm-hmm. Oh, and what was this thing here? Piotr almost got. Oh yeah, it was Batman. That's right. I forgot that.
Yes.
Yeah, Batman's in disguise as his driver.
No, that's Alfred.
What?
It's Alfred in this universe has basically kidnapped the head of the secret police to kind of bring him to Batman because Batman wanted to have a talk with him.
That's what you took away from that? You might be right.
Yeah.
I thought it was Batman in disguise. That's not.
You're not wrong, but.
So this fucking I can't even stop the swearing. I don't care. This universe is Batman has his own Alfred, but he's still Batman in Russia. None of this makes sense. It's just so out of nowhere, dude.
They don't mention it, but I assume he's like ex-Spetsnaz because wasn't Pennywise was like ex-SAS. But I think in the next panel, like when he brings him into the Batcave, I thought Batman was also there with him.
I just assumed he changed real quick.
That's to be fair. That's a.
Well, because you don't even see the guy again.
Exactly.
So what? Do you, I thought that.
Maybe you could be right then. Maybe I'm making it up, but I took that as because he also kind of like looked like he was like this older guy. I took that as. But again, Batman, master of disguise. Maybe he just had like a mustache that he put on and tore.
That's what I thought.
Oh
God. Yeah, and basically he's like, yeah, Piotr is working with America. Basically, he's gonna betray Superman, and he's telling Batman that they have a weapon that can stop Superman.
Yeah, and
So-
he still has this chip on his shoulder about, oh I should have taken place with my father. You're not even human.
Yeah, and then Batman's like, you killed my parents. I'll never forget that. And after I help you, I'm coming after you. And I'm like, what is this?
Drama, Johnny. Drama.
So then they're having like a dinner celebration, and Superman gets distracted by this like Batman
Fireworks.
is yeah.
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
No, what?
Rises?
Rises. Yeah, sorry.
Is that in there? I only saw it once. It was so bad.
No, but it's just the same like burnt in Batman logo.
So, Superman and Batman, we get our fight. Let me tell you, Frank Miller did the Batman-Superman fight, and it was phenomenal. This is garbage.
So Batman had kidnapped Wonder Woman.
And swallowed a bomb into his small intestine. What is this story, Michael? See, you can't even defend it.
That is what it is. So he kidnapped Wonder Woman and has her out in an
How?
undisclosed location.
How did he kidnap Wonder Woman? Well, no, he's not. He's not Bruce Wayne.
Isn't he?
No.
Brewski Wayne. So they kidnapped.
I chose this book.
I think I did.
I'm sure.
We'll have to check the tapes, but so we kidnapped Wonder Woman, took her to an undisclosed location, and basically had her call out for Superman of like, hey, help me. No way. 8.5 seconds or whatever. I thought it would take me long. Or you're getting slow in your old age.
No, that was something Luther said later.
Was it? Okay, so in the movie they used it for this scene too, but he has so it's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all out in like this Siberian like just forest, old abandoned town, and he notices that it's like, hey, don't get too hasty, Superman. Like, I've got a bomb in my chest. Like if you let me if you try to make a break for it or do anything crazy, like it's gonna end me. And I think Wonder Woman was the implication too. But
he turns on his heat lamps.
yeah, he's oh, you're gonna try and roast me, but no, these aren't any heat lamps, Johnny. These are the red sun rays.
Yeah, so that also weakens him like kryptonite.
Yeah. It's the yellow sun that gives him power, but in this universe, they realize it's the red sun that kind of brings him back to normal. Because back on Krypton he was normal, and
yeah. So
he starts beating him up. 'Cause
yeah,
he's got him at a disadvantage.
And then he locks him in a cellar, and the idea is that
yeah.
he's gonna keep him in this cellar. So then Superman communicates to Diana that like there has to be a generator somewhere. I'm gonna ask you to do something that you shouldn't do, but you have to do it. Break your lasso of truth. So
like her soul is connected with the lasso of truth. So like in breaking it, she breaks a big part of her, and like it's normally this indestructible thing, but like she broke it, and so like again,
is that part of Wonder Woman lore?
But my point with this one here is like at least there's the drama of like she chooses to do it in this case because she like has this love for Superman, this unrequited love, and like it turns out he ends up taking advantage of that. But like there's at least a reason for the drama, if you know what I'm saying, like that it makes it a scene because she at the cost of herself, she basically can help Superman get free, and thus the world is free. In the movie, it's just she did it because, I guess, like she didn't love him. She just did it and then got angry about it.
So Batman then kills himself.
Mm-hmm.
In typical Russian Batman fashion.
As he is wont to do. I mean, hey, he lost. He's like, all right, well.
And Diana's you're not old now, so
because her soul was.
And then at the last second, Batman revealed that Piotr's the one who betrayed Superman.
Oh, by the way.
Tell me. I'm so upset right now.
Oh, man.
I can't believe I'm having to go over this book twice.
Look at young JFK, though.
Wait, what was the thing you were going to say?
About what?
what I just said. Something about Piotr. You just laughed about
Oh
something.
no, that was Batman like just saying like, oh by the way, Piotr. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Blows himself
I'm
up.
not gonna tell you. By the way, it was Piotr.
Click.
God, this sucks. This is. Oh, Skylar, bro.
You walked into it now, man.
You walked into one hell of a shit show, man. This is. If it wasn't for Tom King's Mr. Miracle, this would be the worst book we've read.
Okay.
What else was at the bottom there? We Three? No, that wasn't bad. It just wasn't. It just didn't do anything for me. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, that one is more of like a slight, just kind of like a smoky one. Where's our? Gotta look at the board over there. Yeah, there's not that many bad ones. Oh, Flashpoint. Yeah, Flashpoint. I like legitimately didn't like.
Flashpoint Batman is cooler than Russian Batman. Flashpoint above Red Sun. This is this is probably the second to worst book we've read.
Okay.
I'm not even finished reviewing it yet. Skylar doesn't even know what to say.
Yeah,
He's like, oh my gosh.
We haven't even gotten to the twists.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Jimmy
Let's get
Olsen,
there.
Lex Luthor and JFK having a little palaver because turns out there was a secret.
Superman Red Sun by Mark Millar. Skylar.
It is an alternate universe in which Superman lands in USSR instead of USA.
And it is not anywhere near as cool as that sounds. Mike seems to think so for some reason.
How do you feel about the Green Lantern, Johnny? So
I don't know much about him, but they sure as hell made him into a Boba Fett-esque chump in this freaking book.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like Return of the Jedi, Boba
exactly,
Fett chump, who just died.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
F in the chat for gosh, I forget the actor's name.
Boba Fett. The F in the chat stands for Fett, son of Django.
Making a Fett in the chat, wait.
Making a Fett in the chat.
But yeah, so in USA, in Area 51, they're holding this UFO with a strange item in there that they've been holding for a while, and they call in the world's smartest man, and Lex Luthor to try and decipher what it all means, and he finds out that this ring of enormous power, it's a weapon.
Good thing he can figure out the 24-word combination to unlock
that'll
it.
That'll never happen. Johnny has sometimes nice things to say. But otherwise, if that was the case, Skylar, Johnny just wouldn't be talking this entire review, and it would just be me.
Yeah, this book is awful, dude.
I don't know about awful, though. Again, maybe it's just me, but...
It is just you. And apparently IGN, because they claim this is one of the best stories in the history of the Man of Steel.
This is like their, sweet golden edition of, hey, we're reprinting this one because, we've already had, 5 different editions of it. We need a new version of it for a new age.
Yeah, and then oh man, and then dude, how much of Frank Miller's stuff this guy steal? Then there's a team of Batmen who are now anarchists going around Russia, and then Lana goes to talk to the dude Piotr, who's now been Superman roboted by the Brainiac thing.
They lobotomize and basically literally brainwash and reprogram the enemies of the state. You're not wrong, Skylar, and that was why we read this, because this is one that's supposed to kind of make it seem better, but not as much. Not as much.
Yep, Skylar, you're right about that, dog.
But it's interesting seeing the catatonic state that Wonder Woman is left in because of the snapping of her lasso. So she is having some major regrets for helping Superman because she kind of used him, or used her.
Yeah, and then Superman builds his fortress
of solitude.
He built out of ice, though. That's pretty lame.
Just in a mountainside.
And that first Superman movie from 1978 is pretty damn good. Christopher Reeve.
I don't know if I actually ever saw that one. I've seen bits, but it was on TV on in the afternoon, I'm sure. Yeah, have you read Red Sun? Is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Cut to the future here, the utopia that is
the world, except for America and Chile for some reason. Why?
Chilean miners do not want any of.
Because I sent them a package of Berserks.
Oh wait, yeah, they're cool. The one guy reading Berserk in Chile is like the
He's
last
the
one out.
reason.
Exactly. He's
He
like,
was. You're right. That guy is the reason. I love him. Thank you, guy.
oh man.
So the whole world is a utopia except for America.
A communist utopia, but USA is clinging onto our old capitalist ideas, and we don't want to fall in line with Superman and communism. So, like, we're a holdout until one man becomes president.
Yeah, then Lex Luthor's elected president and basically fixes everything.
Because of course, you know, he fixed the economy. He balanced the economy's checkbook in like one night. He's bringing jobs back. He's making physical renovations to the infrastructure. He's doing it all.
And under his presidency, he enacts one more assault on Superman with the Green Lantern Corps, who.
And they were training in an alternate like pocket dimension out of sight of Superman. That's the reason that they were able to do this because.
But how did they create all these rings?
How do they create more? I mean, like even in like Green Lantern Corps, like there's multiple rings. It's not just like one.
I know, but they got them all for this freaking.
Oh man,
crew.
hell yeah! Skylar is like straight like on Team Johnny here. He mentions Skylar. Chat mentions that.
Yep, that's. That
This is
quote that and put it on my gravestone. That is the most like relatable thing anyone in the chat has ever said.
In this situation, Johnny is Skylar, and I am that friend that was like, hey man, maybe you should read Superman Red Sun.
Yeah, you're a jackass.
But yeah, Skylar says that a
You're
friend
not
of
a
his
jackass.
insisted that I would change his opinion of Superman, but it just made him hate Superman even more. It's so good. But yes, with the upcoming assault of the Green Lanterns on Superman and his world, they kind of reach out once more to the Amazonians for help, and they're like, "Nah, man, the world of man is abysmal. You guys are creating your own problems. We're just gonna stay in our own little like isolated utopia." So deuces.
Yeah. And but wait, doesn't Wonder Woman help?
She does, because again, the love Johnny is there.
No, but she helps Superman? No, I think she helps. Doesn't she help take him down?
Yeah, like that. Well, I mean, sorry. After, yeah, like she helps Lex Luthor because the love that was there, then became like hate for him, and then she's being used against them. Yeah.
So, yeah, Green Lantern
Brainiac.
Corps, but then, yeah, they got like the whole flight team. Why? Like, where'd they get all those rings?
It's literally so that they could make.
But Luther said he can't use it because he needs like honesty and heart. So all these people have that.
Well, they have willpower at least. Like they talk about like right here. Hal Jordan had like he was like a POW and like. Had a whole scene.
Yeah, that came out of freaking nowhere.
Yeah, like
why is he the Punisher all of a sudden?
But I don't think that actually. Yeah, that actually did happen. Like, so talking about like in his mind, like he was like fighting. But either way, the scene also exists, and all of the extra rings exist so that they could make references to other Green Lantern Corps members. Like they talk about like Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner, other Green Lantern members. So if nothing else, it's literally just that we could like just Private Gardner, what are you doing? So they could be like, oh, hey, I know that name. And
Nice little Easter egg, boys.
They almost have him by creating like a safe. With like
yeah, and then I'm focusing on a movie I watched when I was a kid. What the hell is with this awful writing?
Get it together, Private Rayner.
Yeah, and then here comes Diana.
Yeah.
And Superman plows through her like a hot knife through butter.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically pulls Superman's hair. And then everybody, including Darkseid, Doomsday.
Yeah, exactly.
Are attacking, and then.
They're like defending like the White House lawn as Superman makes his way onto U.S. soil. But there's one more person there, Johnny. Is that Lois Luther Lane?
Take it from here, toys.
Bake him away. And yeah, she's out there on the lawn. She's got a message for Superman. You know, like, hey man, you know, he could go away. I'm not going to physically stop you, but I've got this letter here that Lex wrote that'll maybe change your mind. So he uses his X-ray vision to take a peek into the letter and sees something and goes insane and starts crying and bawling. Johnny, what does that letter say?
That'd be a better story than what we got. I would read that 10 times over. Why don't you just put the whole world in a bottle, Superman?
Damn! Lex with the bands. So he turns. We kind of skimmed over the part where Stalingrad got destroyed because like a dust mite got into it, and like because they didn't like clean the filters properly, and like Superman's attention was elsewhere. And Stalingrad has become like this whole like black spot on Superman's kind of rise to power, because like he was never able to help them. He never figured out how to fix them, and he thought it was like terrible that they were trapped in this bottle. But in doing so, in his rise to power, he was basically putting the entire world in a bottle by trying to make it perfect and under his control, and nothing would happen. You know, like there was no freedom. So his whole shtick is Lex Luthor was like, all right, well, I'm gonna like mentally break him down by saying like, hey man, like you're the bad guy.
Look, both our mother's name is Martha. Can you stop what you're doing?
Why'd you mention a bottle?
But then Brainiac's revealing that he was playing Superman the whole time.
Well, he was like a bad guy the whole time. Like he was like trying to lie low and like take over. And now he's gonna like blow up. He's gonna like blow up his like black hole engines in his ship since they've defeated him, and that'll destroy the entire world. Unless, Johnny, is there one man who could save them?
No, according to Lex Luthor, he can't, and so Superman's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, and then he has that line of like, well played, old friend. Come on, old chum. So they... And then it explodes, so Superman died, and then Lex Luthor checkmates. And this book sucked.
But we're not done yet.
Of course we're not. So then, years later, Lex Luthor dies, and...
well, Lex Luthor kind of creates... Okay, first off, he starts, you know, like, creating a utopia of his own world, but he, like, makes a kind of form of government, like the top right over there, of like, here's a bunch of scientists and artists that'll kind of control the world, like, very much like a Platonic government. But I just like that even in like the far-flung future of like 21 whatever it is, that beatnik dude is just a guy wearing a black suit and a black beret and like he's got like the male symbol on his chest. I don't know. That
can't be parents, man.
It's like, yeah, it's like the most like cliche hippie that like you can find. It's like, yes, you sir are fit to run the government of the future. That part I liked, again, for stupid reasons, but...
So then, Lex dies, and then...
He has, like, a whole lineage of Luthors that kind of continue to better the world and explore, and it eventually leads, you know, they create this perfect society that is led, you know, that lasts, like, millennia.
But what do we find out here?
Until the sun starts to die. The sun is collapsing in on itself and is becoming a red sun that'll eventually expand out and destroy the entire world. Johnny?
No, but what happened right here, Mike?
Oh, I can't quite see there. Oh, yeah, there's... Oops, Superman's still alive. Am I crazy? Am I not remembering it?
Yep.
Please remind me.
No, Superman's still alive.
Yeah. He survived the blast. Lex Luthor didn't carry the right decimal point when he was factoring in Superman's density versus the explosion of those bombs. So Superman survived by like just a hair, because Lex Luthor didn't carry the right decimal.
So what's happening here?
To save you know, their society, their perfect society, from the brink of destruction, because nobody would believe them, they have to send a child back. One that will be... he'll be strong. He'll be fast. He'll be virtually indestructible.
Where are they sending him to?
And he'll need these advantages to survive, my darling. Goodbye, my son. Go back and change the world so that we might not become so cold, this cold, complacent lot. Go back and bring a little light to our lives again. They're sending him to Earth, back in time to Earth, because they figured the yellow sun that's out there, he'll be strong and fast and have these advantages and be able to kind of, you know, create a better world than this complacent one that they've now live in. So he gets sent back to Earth, and we check on Earth, and oops, there's this shuttle that's landing in a communist farm out in Ukraine.
So So it's a cycle.
The time loop, yeah. Yeah, that part was a bummer. I was not, I did not remember that part of it.
So wait, why? I don't. So
Yes, so like,
so Earth is Krypton.
yes. Or at least in like their galactic universe, like they expand out to Krypton, and basically humanity are the ones that send back Superman to try and save humanity from becoming this like perfect but complacent race. So it's just an endless time loop, because they send Superman back, and Superman was the reason for all of it anyway. Thanks, Lex. You must have missed another decimal point, because now we're trapped in this time loop of Johnny forever being angry.
Why do people like this book?
The communist symbolism, and it's a cool alternate. Like you saw what Batman was wearing, right?
Tom King's Mr. Miracle.
No, don't you dare! Where's that and going? No, it's not possible.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Mark Millar's Superman Red Sun.
I was gonna say.
We three.
Okay, but We Three's good though. So they're.
We three just didn't do nothing for me. Wait,
But
I feel like we got it right. Oh no, Flashpoint.
We Three did nothing wrong though.
Oh no, Flashpoint and Flashpoint Batman. Oh, Transformers was pretty meh.
But again, not like aggressively bad though. Like
No.
to me,
Oh, wasn't Green Arrow pretty meh without the artwork? Like,
yeah,
it was the
yeah,
artwork
it was pretty bland. Like again on paper, like that one should have been like everything that we wanted of like an 80s.
Oh, Marvel Zombies. Shoot, there it is.
Yeah,
that was
on,
the
yeah,
other thing.
Hold on, yeah.
Okay,
So
wait.
Mr. Miracle, no, don't you dare. Marvel Zombies.
Oh my God.
No.
No, this is that bad.
No.
This is on
I
that level.
disagree.
It's like, here it is. Tom King's Mr. Miracle. Marvel Zombies. and Superman Red Sun. Yeah, this was just as shitty
man.
in my book.
Wait till we get to episode 50 where we do another like 25 episode recap and ranking, because we're gonna have this conversation again, and I don't think that's right, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, it's right.
Yeah, I was
Superman Red Sun sucked.
okay. So I gave it, I think, a 7. What would you? Where's this number at?
3.
3. Oh, man.
Why am I giving it a 3 even? I don't know. I hated it. I hated everything about it. I hate the character. Sky was right, man. I will never give this character another chance.
Yeah.
I will go into every story
That's-
being like, no, it's gonna suck.
That's fair. I mean, you're not wrong, and yeah, it's the kind of thing where like I would still. I'm curious what your opinion of the movie would be, but also like making you spend an hour and a half on a story that you already.
Hour and a
I
half.
think that's what it is, right?
Holy
it's a 90-minute animated movie, but like
I ain't got time for that.
I don't know. I didn't like it just because the way like if you didn't like the storyline, imagine if they made it like less meaningful and.
Does it
even-
end the
even
same
more
way?
bland. No, they how does it end? They ignore the whole time loop thing. I think it's just a nice happy ending. Like it's weird.
So they understand time travel.
Johnny, what are we reading next week? We have a book set aside, and since there is a civil war between Mike and Johnny, I think we're going to need a third person to help us try and navigate these waters, navigate the graphic novel landscape.
Say that again.
Can you pick up the book that's over there?
Where? Oh yeah. Wait, are we gonna have a guest next week? Did we
Yes.
talk about that? Did
Yeah,
you say it?
I,
Were you just saying that? I wasn't.
I was alluding to it. Yeah, when you were in a trance.
All right. Well, to get us out of this time loop, next week we got something coming into the show. Not just something, but someone. Okay.
The man, the myth.
All you should know is that you should be here, and if you're not, you're basically a jackass. Pastimes Comics and Games, located at entrance 8 of Golf Mill Mall at the intersection of Greenwood and Golf Road in Niles, Illinois. It's Pastimes Comics and Games, located at entrance 8 of Golf Mill Mall at the intersection of Greenwood and Golf Road in Niles, Illinois. Perfect.
Checks out.
We're reading Transmetropolitan next week. Issues 1 through 6, I believe, which is trade paperback number 1. Is that what we decided
Yep.
it is?
Yeah, we're going to read trade paperback number 1 of Transmetropolitan because it was suggested to us by a coworker who will also be joining us on the stream. Zach.
Actually, Alan suggested. Why'd you just ruin the surprise?
Oh, I didn't.
I guess it doesn't have to be a surprise
The
anymore.
name is. To be fair, I feel like not a lot of people know Zach, and now they will.
Well, they're gonna.
And they'll know his opinions on Transmetropolitan.
Zach's basically the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Sliced bread, Zach. That's how it goes.
That's fair. But yeah, like, so do you know anything about Transmetropolitan?
No, I was just telling everybody how bad Superman Red Sun is.
That's fair.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, we're gonna know.
I know Warren Ellis wrote it.
Yeah, Warren Ellis, and
Didn't he just have some shit about him? Was that him or no? I'm not trying to spread rumors.
he might be. He's a character. Warren Ellis, and I'm sorry, who's the artist again? I can't see the name from here, but
Derek, who spells his name weird, Robertson.
Robertson. Yeah. So again, they were
Derek.
They were the team that made The Boys. Transmetropolitan came first, but
Wait, Warren Ellis writes The Boys?
yeah.
No. Garth Ennis writes The Boys.
Garth Ennis. Okay. Yeah. I am crazy. They also had maybe it's the artist who. Sorry, I guess it is just the artist who did The Boys also does this, because I'm reading The Boys again and I was like, wait, the name is familiar, but I forgot. Yeah, just the artist who did.
I guess
Boys.
Ellis and Ennis are pretty damn close to each other.
I even as a kid I definitely made those comparisons many times, but man, Garth Ennis is good though. Boys is okay. Like, rereading that again, I'm like, man, they had a whole like gay panic, like 12 issues that I'm like, I don't know if that really holds up anymore.
What do you mean?
One of their characters is like, so they've got like their Batman and Nightwing equivalents, and like they like lean hard into like the whole like gay relationship, but also like they're kind of like bucking of homosexuality, and like Batman like hates gays and stuff like that, and so does Nightwing. It's weird. It's the kind of stuff that doesn't really, I don't know how well it plays anymore, and there's a reason I think that they left it out of the TV show.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just like, I'm like, oh man, I certainly don't remember this, like getting in like weird like like gay bashing stuff. But
Oh.
yeah, it's yeah, like it's the thing where like I was rereading it because I was like, one, I was watching the TV show and I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty sweet. Like, let me reread the book because I haven't read it since like high school, and I'm like, maybe we could suggest this on the stream here, and I'm like, I don't know, because again, like that's like front loaded too, like so I'm like, I don't know if that really plays anymore. So yeah, so instead we're gonna read Transmetropolitan.
Sounds good to me.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Anything else?
Do we
you'd
have
like to add?
previews next week?
Previews next week? I don't think so. It's a bummer. 'Cause, yeah, we still have.
You're probably right.
Yeah, still got like one more Wednesday. I think it'll be a relatively lighter week. These last.
Oh
couple
wait,
weeks.
next Thursday's Christmas Eve, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna be here.
Crap, you're right.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving all
Zach.
over again.
Maybe I was gonna say do we want to shoot for Wednesday, or is that too close? Or maybe we just do it on Tuesday. We just do a Tuesday.
We'll have to talk to that person.
Yeah, we'll check with that person.
Yeah,
that
we
we've
might
already
have
named.
we might have to move that to Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, or maybe it might be the last stream of the new year, or the 2020. Maybe we'll do 30. Man, what if we did it at midnight? No, that. Point being, we'll know by Tuesday.
I care less about Christmas. I mean New Year's Eve.
Yeah, exactly.
But Christmas Eve, I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Again, just like you said, like Thanksgiving, I totally forgot what the next Thursday was. But yeah, we'll sort it out possibly on Tuesday then.
Perfect. All right,
All right.
talk to you.
See you then. have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, I
We'll
won't
see you
talk
next
to you again
Tuesday.
after this. I don't know why I said it that way.
Exactly, yeah, and we'll be back on Monday for Pokemon, Pokepacks with Royce, and then on Tuesday with more comics talk. So have a good rest of your week, and remember, not all heroes wear capes.